California's Prop 12 is now in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. That is the law that voters passed overwhelmingly in 2018 to allow animals being raised as food a little bit of room in their cages, enough room for them to be able to turn around. It is being challenged by the pork industry, and the Biden administration just filed a brief against Prop 12, against the will of California voters. And that is even after a coalition of 100 congressional members asked them to defend the prop and its basic rules for animal welfare. I just spoke about it with the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsak.
Well, it's a complicated issue, and it's one that obviously involves the vote of the California people, as well as issues relating to food costs and food availability, and it has national implications. So we'll let the courts make the decision about whether or not they take this matter up, and if they do, how they ultimately decide it. The Solicitor General made their decision, and that's something we have to respect. Because separate departments, I don't want the Solicitor General telling me how to do my job, and I don't think it's probably up to me to tell him how to do his job.
So going forward, when it comes to humane treatment of farm animals, animals that are raised for food, do you see anything ever coming nationally, so states don't have to cherry pick individually what fights they're going to be concentrating on? We know a lot of different states have different rules when it comes to what they're allowing as far as, crates that are too small for an animal to even turn around in. Might that ever become a federal issue?
Well, this is a complicated issue, and I know that in many areas of our livestock production, the industry is taking upon itself to create humane treatment standards. For example, the dairy industry is, I think, one of the only dairy industries in the world that actually has an internationally certified animal welfare system. It's called Farmers for Responsible Management, and it basically sets out the parameters by which dairy cows are to be treated. So the industry does take the treatment of animals very, very seriously. They follow the science of it. Obviously, people have choices and concerns that they want to express. And obviously, that's going to have an impact on supply. It's going to have an impact on cost. And obviously, folks are very concerned today about food costs, and that's something that needs to be taken into consideration.
That is one question. The administration coming out on this at this point, is it because of the inflation that they're just trying to keep food costs down? And is that the motivation behind stepping into this case?
Well, you'd have to ask the Solicitor General, but what people sometimes don't realize is that there's a precedent-setting nature of a particular case beyond the particular issue at stake that may impact and affect a variety of other federal preemptions and federal decision making. So sometimes the decision is made not on the merits of the particular issue, but on the procedural aspect or the implication that decision may have on other areas of the law. And again, you'd have to ask the Solicitor General in terms of what the motivation was. But I suspect that there's probably concern about the nature of this precedent-setting decision that was of concern to the Solicitor General.
Yeah, the Interstate Commerce Clause certainly at play here. But you, as the man who is in charge of agriculture nationwide, do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I'm concerned right now. My focus is really on making sure that we continue to have the production levels necessary to make sure that we are and continue to be a food secure nation, and that we do so in a way that addresses the concern that most Americans have about the costs of food. So my focus is on production, availability, and cost, and I think that's where it should be.
Okay, I know a lot of Americans are also concerned about the humane treatment as well, so we'll see if at some point we could reconcile that a little bit better. Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsak, thanks for joining us today on CBS News Bay Area.
Thank you.